I didn't mention it in my cold open, but I'm going to mention it now, and that's Caitlin Clark herself of the WNBA. Let's get to the WNBA and this sensational rookie from the Indiana Fever who continues to be box office.
How can one athlete instantly incite a league-wide outrage? There may be ladies on your team who are older and more skilled than you, but if they notice that you're a rising star and performing really well, they will stop at nothing to undermine your success. The WNBA fan base is going crazy after Caitlin Clark was awarded the Best Sports Business Athlete of the Year. Is it her enormous endorsements, her record-breaking performances, or something else that's causing the backlash? Stay with us to learn the real story behind this contentious argument, the path taken by Caitlin Clark to become a sports. Caitlin Clark isn't your typical rookie. She entered the WNBA with a reputation that already towered above many established stars at Iowa. She broke records to become the all-time leading scorer in college basketball, and her most recent accomplishment, being named Sports Business Journal's Best Sports Business Athlete of the Year, solidified her place in the history books. However, as with any groundbreaking moment, not everyone is celebrating. Let's examine the layers of why this recognition is so significant, not just for Clark, but for women's sports in general. Continuously attracting large TV audiences, her performances changed the expectations of women's basketball spectators in addition to providing entertainment. Whether they were casual spectators or die-hard followers, Clark had a talent for drawing people in. In her debut season, she not only lived up to the hype, but also beyond it, averaging 19.2 points per game, leading the league in assists, and winning debut of the year and first-team All-Star NBA honors. Her move to the WNBA with the Indiana Fever was as seismic. Clark made it clear from away that she was a formidable opponent. If your only defense of Caitlin is that it would have been a fantastic marketing opportunity and you lack basketball experience or chemistry with the group you're arguing with, I don't want to hear it. Her games weren't just events, they were spectacles that attracted record-breaking attendance and viewership numbers. However, Clark's business acumen and marketability are what really make her stand out. She is more than simply an athlete, she is a brand, and her endorsement deals demonstrate her universal appeal. She signed an incredible 8-year contract of $28 million with Nike, making her one of the highest. Whether you like it or not, Caitlin Clark is the reason that many of these new fans are watching the WNBA. If someone says, oh, it's the rookie class, no, it's Caitlin Clark, it's obvious that she is in a class of her own. When you combine that with partnerships with Gatorade, State Farm, Bose & Wilson, it's evident that Caitlin Clark is in a league of her own. The Indiana Fever, Clark's team, averaged a record 177,000 home games this past season, and the league's overall viewership increased as a result of Clark's participation. Increased, which benefits the league as well as the Fever. Clark's capacity to draw large crowds and hold their attention has made her a key player in the WNBA's strategy to expand its brand and bring in new audiences. I was hesitant to conclude that every WNBA player is envious of Caitlin Clark, but after witnessing what has transpired in recent days, weeks, and months, I have since changed my mind. Success comes with scrutiny, and Clark's most recent accolade has generated a great deal of discussion. Some fans contend that the award ignores other worthy WNBA players who have dedicated years to creating the league they see. It is considered disrespectful to the veterans who established the foundation for the success of players like Clark. There have been a lot of strong reactions on social media, ranging from overwhelmingly positive to blatantly negative. One of the primary points of contention is Clark's rookie status. Critics contend that awarding such a prestigious honor to someone who is so new to the league diminishes the contributions of longtime stars, contending that it is unjust to give Clark more recognition than players who have been working hard for years without getting the same credit. However, the fact remains that Clark's influence cannot be denied. She's doing exceptionally well at it. Whether fans, sponsors, and the media like her or dislike her, she is changing how the WNBA is viewed on the court. No one else is drawing attention to the league as Caitlin Clark is, and media attention has greatly increased Clark's impact. Her plots are featured in social media reels and ESPN highlights. Because of her ongoing prominence, she has become a divisive character. She is seen by some as the WNBA's savior. Even her critics cannot dispute her impact, but they see the media's attention on her as a disservice to other gifted athletes. Clark has created buzz that goes beyond the realm of sports. She attracts attention, and in the sports industry, attention equals money, whether it's through her game-winning shots, her fierce on-court personality, or her off-court charisma. Clark's ascent is a triumph for women's athletics as much as a personal one. Historically, it has been difficult for female athletes to get the same respect and funding as their male counterparts. Clark is defying expectations. Her social media following and endorsements surpass those of top when the product is enticing her influence. Male athletes demonstrate that there is a huge market for women's sports. Extends the WNBA as a league is already feeling the effects of Clark's stardom. Attendance is up, merchandise sales are booming, and the Fever is being marketed as America's team. The league is even considering scheduling games overseas to capitalize on her international appeal. Beyond basketball, Clark is inspiring a new generation of girls to dream bigger by accomplishing what many believed was impossible for a female athlete. She is also demonstrating that it is possible to excel in sports, build a global brand, and challenge the status quo. Clark is now a representation of what the WNBA can accomplish when its stars are given the stage and encouragement to shine, but there have been difficulties along the way. Critics contend that the heightened focus has also led to more scrutiny on Clark and the league overall. It is dangerous to rely solely on one individual to propel its expansion, although there is legitimate anxiety about what would happen if Clark were to sustain an injury or see a decline in performance. The league is now enjoying her success. The division this story creates among fans is among its most intriguing features. On the one side, there are those who want to see Clark as the symbol of a new era. In the comments sections of social media posts about Clark, supporters call her the GO and praise her for elevating the league, while critics accuse her of overshadowing other players and receiving undue recognition. While the WNBA celebrates her accomplishments and sees her as a trailblazer, other fans believe the league is placing too much emphasis on one player at the expense of others. Although this conflict in sports is not new, it is especially noticeable in a league that is still struggling to gain widespread recognition as Clark's star continues to rise. The key question is whether she will keep dominating the WNBA and setting new records. Will the intense scrutiny ultimately have a negative impact, or will her influence result in fundamental changes in the league, like improved player marketing and bigger salaries? One thing is certain. Whether you love her or not, it's hard to deny Caitlin Clark's influence. She is already making waves throughout the world, and there are whispers that her team may play abroad to broaden the WNBA's reach. In addition to drawing attention, Caitlin Clark's accomplishment has sparked a flurry of emotions among supporters, athletes, and analysts. Many people believe that this award highlights a systemic issue with the league's tendency to prioritize marketability over merit, even though Clark unquestionably has the statistics to support her accolades. Critics contend that her accolades are disproportionate to her time in the league, given that she is still a rookie compared to seasoned veterans who have spent years building the WNBA's foundation. While her supporters see these parallels as a celebration of her talent, critics see them as premature and even disrespectful to the legacy of other basketball icons. Some fans and athletes have been left with a bitter taste in their mouths due to the perception that impressive resumes have not been given the same opportunities or recognition. The criticism is focused as much on Clark's personal accomplishments as it is on the way she symbolizes a shift in women's sports. Sponsorship agreements have significantly improved Caitlin Clark's profile, but with support from international behemoths like Nike, Gatorade, and State Farm, they've also turned into a contentious issue. Although Clark's financial success greatly exceeds that of the majority of WNBA players, it also draws attention to the inequalities in the league, leading some to wonder why other players aren't given the same possibilities. On the one hand, media coverage has been a double-edged sword. Although Clark's prominence has given the WNBA previously unheard of exposure, the media's emphasis on her has obscured the accomplishments of other players, which shapes a narrative. Where Clark is almost solely responsible for the league's success, which may alienate fans who support other teams and athletes. However, is it fair to blame Clark for this imbalance? She's just taking advantage of the opportunities that have been presented to her, just like any astute athlete would. The real problem is with the way the league and its stakeholders allocate resources and attention. If anything, Clark's success should serve as a wake-up call for the WNBA to increase its investment in promoting its other stars. Despite the controversy, there's no doubt that Clark's presence has benefited the WNBA because of her ability to attract audiences. An increase in viewership is unparalleled. The league's overall attendance and TV ratings have experienced notable increases, and the Fever's games consistently sell out. This is about the impact she has on others, not just one athlete.
Her success is forcing sponsors, broadcasters, and even casual fans to reconsider their opinions of the WNBA, but this degree of reliance on a single player is dangerous.
Clark's influence goes beyond the court by demonstrating that a WNBA player can command the same level of attention and revenue as a male athlete. Even when Clark isn't playing, the league needs to figure out how to keep up the momentum. This includes elevating player pay, developing and promoting new players, and coming up with more captivating plots to keep fans interested. Since female athletes have long battled to receive the same amount of respect and financial support as their male counterparts, Clark's ascent is representative of a broader change in the sports industry. When given the proper platform, Clark is demonstrating that women's sports can be just as lucrative and captivating, if not more so. Her success is also motivating a new generation of young girls and athletes who, previously viewing professional sports as an unreachable ideal, they now have a role model who demonstrates that everything is possible.